We did the school run.
Yeah, but I didn't use my keys. My keys were in the doors I left, 'cause I unlocked it. But I didn't need to use them again coming back because the door was unlocked because my other two eldest kids are in bed. Yeah, but I didn't use my keys. I'm really confused with my little life. I don't know. Hi, David.
Could you have put him in the door to try and lock it, and then you forgot to lock it and just left the house then?
No, because I wouldn't have locked it with the kids being at home.
Hmm.
Because my bag's like the TARDIS. So if I put my keys in my bag, it takes like about 20 minutes to find the keys when I get back home again. So if I don't need to, then I don't bother.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm a bit confused.
That is confusing.
I checked the fridge and everything. How are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. Not too bad at all.
That's good. Have you had a better week?
I actually feel quite tired. I've been up since early today, and yeah, I did feel awake earlier, but yeah, I'm all right. I'm good.
There
I'm
must
not.
be something in the water because I've been up since 4 o'clock.
Have you? I've been up since about
Yeah,
5:30.
craziness.
I know. Morning, Olivia.
Morning.
Hey, hon. Your head looks better.
Yeah, just a little dent. Getting there.
Much better.
Right, should we start?
I thought we'd already started.
Well, very good question. I mean, very good observation. Yeah,
You were late, David.
I was late. I was late.
That's it.
I was late.
Oh,
Checking in. Yeah, I'm fucking all over the place. Nice to see you all. I'm very focused. And then that's why I was late or something. Then I looked, I was, fuck, whoa. So I'm just kind of landing here. I'll tag you, Belly.
cool. Thanks, David. I'm checking in as good. Yeah, better. And yeah, just good at the moment. Things are. I'm sort of feeling a bit better in my head, and that's kind of having an effect overall on my environment. So yeah, I've got. For the first time in quite a while, I think I'm able to say I'm doing good. So I'll check in Ruth. I'll tag in Ruth. Sorry.
I'm good. I just said I was confused, but I'm all right apart from being very confused this morning. Motivated. I've got lots I'm getting on with, so I'm cool. Olivia?
Yeah, I'm checking in good. Busy, going on courses. Brexit Council keep firing them at me. So I was on one yesterday. It was quite good. It was quite interesting. So yeah,
Which one?
it was Pear Road Project. That's the unit that I volunteer with. They had a group, and it was like kind of people in the area, situation around the area, letting them know what Pear Road does and stuff like that. And
What? Sorry.
like saying what Pear Road does, like what it offers people.
Yeah, so I didn't hear what it was called.
Pear Road Project.
Pia
PI.
Rod.
Yeah, sorry, it's my accent. Pear.
No, it's not. It's maybe that would have my listening ears on.
Is that
Um,
P-E-E-R or P-E-I-R? It's P-E-I-R, isn't it?
PIER.
Oh, sorry, P-I-E-R.
Yeah, I before E except after C. Did you
Yeah.
not know that?
Well, I
Doesn't
did.
always work, you know. It always gets me caught out that one.
Nelly, stop it. God, sorry. Yeah, it was interesting. And then they asked me to kind of say something about my journey through Peer Ride. And then people wrote in the comments saying well done and all that kind of stuff. And then I went to do the ketamine group. And after that, the lady that was hosting, she pulled me aside and said, there was another lady that wants me to do training for her. I don't know. I don't know whether she wants me to train people or whether she wants to train me. I don't really know what that is yet. And Charlotte asked me to host that meeting that she done yesterday next time around. I'm like, really? Why you want me?
So what's your hourly rate, Olivia?
Oh, don't start. I had a go. My daughter had a go at me yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, nothing at the moment, volunteering. The lady that's doing the job interview is on holiday, so we're just waiting for her to come back.
I'm just going to clean my whiteboard. I hope you can't tell it's my underpants I'm using.
Lovely.
Not the clean.
See, it does such a good job. Now they go back into the laundry basket and voila. Okay. So the system. Here we are as coaches. Yep. We've lived experience and we show up authentically and we work in an environment of crisis, chaos, and conflict. We love our work and our job because we have lived experience ourselves and we can help other family members, yep, get some distance between the person that's in a culture of adversity. Yep. So we know this distance well. And this continuum is codependence, independence, interdependence. So you want to kind of try and get the system to the sweet spot here. Yeah. This side is the money. Yep. And there's a relationship with the person that's in a culture of adversity on how they get their money. So when they're using, they might have a job, pocket money, something. When they misuse, they start to get creative. Yeah, when they abuse, yeah, they need to get more creative. And when they go completely mad, people usually go criminal in some sort of way. Drunken driving, fraud, drugs, selling, dealing, whatever. Yeah. And what we want to do here is build the relationship between the love of the work and the gratitude that we have, like, oh, fuck, I was like that, now I'm this. Helping other people is good for me personally. Where we fall down is this stuff. So people don't want to put money or invest in recovery capital. Yeah. But we know that if people do invest in that, you get a very good return on your investment. Now, what's happening with you, Olivia, yep, is don't ask me that, yep, because you've got such low self-esteem and shame around your relationship with money. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that too. And I get tired of fucking trying to justify my worth and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff.
My daughter was having a go at me yesterday.
This
About-
is your 28-year-old daughter
Yeah.
who shouldn't
Yeah.
really be having a go because she's not exactly independent yet.
Yeah, she still needs her mummy.
Yeah. So she's in a culture of adversity.
No, she was saying that I need to stick up for myself, and I'm doing a lot down there, and
Yeah. But your mummy role and your daughter role, your 28-year-old daughter is telling you, Mum, you must do this and this and this. Yeah. Okay. So that's a mother-daughter relationship.
right, okay.
Yep. If you were to coach your daughter or to coach the mother in this, what would you say?
She knows what she's doing, and all the experience is good
You would say that to who?
to my daughter.
Okay, so that's what you want to say to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So what would you say to this person now that has a whole lot of value that needs to go out into the world and there's a value exchange?
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck.
Great. So Bally and Ruth, why don't you take over and support your colleague while I put the kettle on and have my room checked?
What bit do you feel that you're stuck on, Olivia?
Good open question.
They're asking for a payment.
Okay. And
Oh shit, sorry, is everyone all right if this is recorded?
yeah.
Cool, great.
And what is it about asking for a payment that you
Um,
that makes you not ask for the payment?
because I signed up for volunteering, not for the job. So
Okay. So you signed up for the volunteering, and how much volunteering have you done already?
probably twice a week for the last 2 years, two and
Twice
a
a week
half.
for the last 2 years. And how many? And in terms of time, how much time is it each time when you volunteer?
Um, it's probably the groups that I hold are an hour long, but I do
Okay.
preparation beforehand.
Okay. So there's a bit of pre-work, then there's a bit of actual work,
Yeah,
then there's a bit of, I suppose, post work where you need to kind of decompress. So altogether, it's taking
and
it
move
to
on from next week. Move like
yeah.
get something from that meeting to kind of bring
And
it
you're
forward.
doing that twice. You've been doing that twice a week for 2 years, and now you're at a point where you feel that you should be compensated for the work that you're doing.
Yeah, I do want to get paid eventually.
Mm,
It's just like what, like how do I approach that?
okay, okay.
So,
Yeah, so it's a tricky one, and it's always a tricky one in terms of asking for money, and especially the British as well. We get super uncomfortable about it, but if when you've kind of thought about that scenario situation in your head, what does that look like in your head when you think about it?
getting a full-time job there and getting some money and some
Look,
ability, working out like having my own independence and not relying on university credit.
but in terms of having that conversation, I mean, what does that look like
Okay,
in your head whenever you've thought about it, if you've thought about it?
I haven't thought about it,
Okay,
not
okay,
really.
yeah. And
So, sorry.
go on.
I was going to say, so you've done 2 hours a week. Is that 2 hours a week or is it four
Yeah,
hours a week?
2 hours a week.
2 hours a week for the last 2 years. So we're looking at maybe with the pre-prep as well, look at about 250 hours that you've worked. I think that's about right.
Mm,
Yeah. So you've got that experience and actually coming to you now to ask you to do more. Is that right?
mm.
Am I getting that correct? Cool. So why do you not think now that you should be asking for the money? If you were in a similar boat, so if somebody else is in a similar position that you are in now, what would you be
Try
saying to
not to
them?
use a why question.
Okay. What would you be saying to somebody who was in a similar position to you now?
Excellent, excellent.
Maybe approach somebody and speak to somebody in the unit about it.
Yeah.
But the job offer is like is pending. The interview is pending. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens with that interview. And I think I might see how that goes. If I don't get it, move on into another place that I'm kind of worth more to.
I love that. I love that sort of attitude. It's
Mhm.
amazing. You could see that you're worth a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, so if this job didn't come available, how would you make that person who is in your position at the moment, or would you make them feel better about themselves? What would you say?
Play the waiting game and see what happens with the job. And then have a decision, make a decision after that. So I am aware of it. I have thought about it.
How would you boost their self-esteem now?
Tell them that they are worth it. And they've put a lot of training in and done a lot of recovery and um yeah, gave up my time helping others. So I'm too shy to ask for money. That's what it is. I'm not confrontational. I don't like that. and I discussed that the other night about my personality because of my childhood and the arguments between my parents. Whenever a confrontation or wherever an argument or something like that, I back away because I'm like, as David has said before, it's like that body, your memories gone back into that trauma that you've experienced. So my emotions shut off if people start shouting at me. I
Olivia,
can engage with people.
I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to say, if you keep playing that narrative and keep holding yourself back, people out there are suffering
Mm,
because you're going to get some other fucking idiot in that role that's not going to be able to build rapport in the way that you do.
mm. Like I even finished with my partner after 5 years because I couldn't deal with the arguments that was being created over petty things. And because of my history in my past, I think I'm worth more than that. I don't need to be spoken to like that. So
Now we're getting a bit angry, huh?
yeah, I know, because he annoys
Good,
me.
good. So, okay. Let me just pause for a second because I can't feel myself.
Don't start me off on that one.
No. The anger is a good thing. The anger is the emotion that's going to give you clarity around what your worth is and what it's and where you're kind of going out into uncharted waters. Okay, so I just want to, if we could just pause for a second. This continuum here I actually got from Peter De Silva of Recovery Connections. It's called VAG. Yeah. And it stands for volunteer ambassador, and then you get a job. And when you were talking about your hours that you've done as volunteering, yeah, and being an ambassador, it's now time for you to go and get a job.
Yeah.
Yep. So what professional qualifications do you have other than being a professional recovery coach do you have?
I have a level 3 in counselling. I've got a level 4 in drug and alcohol. Smart recovery facilitator. All of this that I'm doing this. I've got children and adult mental health certificate. I've got an ADHD awareness certificate. I done Alcohol UK the other day. I got that, and I got a ketamine certificate as well.
Okay, so I'm just going to check with your colleagues if they think you're qualified. Bally and Ruth, what do you think about Olivia's pieces of paper?
Yeah, they very much give her the additional sort of paper confirmation as well as a lived experience that she's in the right place to be providing the right support.
Can you see that? Yes, you can. Yeah. So in the adult learning window, yeah, your level is you've got level 3 and level 4 and whatever, you've got all the theory side of it. How much lived experience have you got with alcohol and divorce and
Yeah,
recovery?
yeah. When it comes to that, you know, my parents dying, so I understand grief. The abuse, I understand that. Marriage breakdown. Kids being when my husband left, like the kids went to his the weekends, and another woman came into the kind of situation, and she tried to be mum, which was very kind of hard for me. I didn't mind him having a girlfriend, but she was just trying to take over too much. And then the court system and contact centres.
So you got a doctorate in lived experience of being a fuck up.
Yeah.
Well done. Good for
Thank you.
you. Well
I
done.
feel really good now.
So you really are at the top of your game there in lived experience. You really are. I mean, if I had a family member that needed help and they said they wanted to go and see Olivia, I'd say, fucking A, go for it.
Thank you.
It's not and I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it. I'm saying it for when we make referrals, we must consider what and who we are referring to. Yep. And this country understands that they're spending a hell of a lot of money on systems that don't work. And there's a lot of people going around, oh, fuck, we got to get lived experience in our organization. And they're running around with tick boxes to try and fill it, but they haven't got the actual lived experience in the organization.
Yeah.
It's making sense to everyone. Yeah. What we're trying to create here is a sweet spot in the center, which has the professional theoretical stuff combined with the professional lived experience stuff. So you are going out as a professional with lived experience. Yep. You're no longer a hobbyist golfer. You're now a professional golfer. You're still playing golf. You're just getting paid for it. Is this making sense to everyone? It's a terrible thing to say, is it making sense? It's my anxiety. Of course it makes sense. It's fucking simple.
Mm.
Yeah. How much does an Amazon packer get paid for in Amazon in the UK? Can somebody Google it quickly?
Roots on it. And I've just taken somebody through to 12 steps as well.
Between 14.30 to 15.30 an hour, depending on location.
14:30 to 15:30. Okay. So times that by 40 and times that by 52.
Top end. .5 is the usual working week, isn't it?
Okay.
So about 29 grand a year, 29,835 a year before tax.
Okay, cool. So let's call it 30 grand a year. Okay. So society, yep, in the UK kind of looks down on lived experience and the value that people are bringing to organizations to about that of Amazon packer in a factory, getting boxes of shit to people. And I'm not, and I don't want to criticize the role of an Amazon packer, but just the amount of knowledge and experience and training that you guys go through in comparison to that, I think we're getting a raw deal.
Yeah, this job is up for 28.
What do you guys think? Am I smoking crack? Or is what I'm saying kind of stirring stuff up?
Spot on. When I was younger, I was a newly qualified nursery nurse at a level 3, and I was getting a lot less than what a trolley pusher was in Asda. And it was like, how? I've just trained for 2 years to get my level 3 and to be a nursery nurse, and you had about a day's training to learn how to push a trolley, and they were getting about £2 more an hour. It was crazy. So yeah, it is ridiculous.
Bally, may I ask, when you were in sales and doing corporate work, what sort of salary you were commanding?
A lot.
No.
Look at his face.
And if I If that's a bit offsides, tell me.
No,
But
no, it's fine. So it was mainly commission. Well, it was more sort of about the commission, but in terms of basic salary, I think the highest when I was just in a regular consultant role, it was around the 30 to 40k, and then there was commission on top, and then
okay,
the highest was like about 75. But there wasn't much commission with that, so that was a more senior role. But actually, I was earning more when I was working just as a normal consultant because my basic was about 40, and I was probably with commissions, I was probably earning around 100, 110.
okay. So that's some big numbers, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That wasn't every year, but that was for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
number. Yeah.
yeah. No, when things were good,
Yes.
they were all right.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's all just
Yeah.
zoom out for a second,
Hmm.
and I want to make the agenda about money, self-worth, value.
Hmm.
That's just I just want to see what emerges. Yep. My agenda
Hmm.
here is I've done a whole lot of IT work in the background. I've worked fucking obsessively for a good 7 weeks now. Like fucking, I'm talking like 12 hours a day on top of what I'm doing. Yeah. And I compared if I was charging £30 an hour.
Hmm.
Yep. And then I compared it with the marketplace, with what the average market is. Yep. And I've done it all for free. Yep. But just at £30 an hour, I'm at about £15,000. Yeah. With some consulting stuff. If you take what the market rate is in the UK, you're looking at about 35, 40. And yeah, so I'm really curious about this discussion. Sorry.
Okay. So it took me a long time to recognize my self-worth and, essentially happy to do a job, happy to do any job. But if I'm not going to get paid or compensated appropriately for it, then, and this took a long time to realize, then I'll walk away and I won't do it because my self worth and value um, is worth more than somebody underpaying me for. So, for example, the role where I was on 75, they took me on as a sales director, brought me in to sort the whole sales team out and everything, but brought me on 50k. So I accepted the job at 50k, but then within a month of being in the role and seeing how much of a mess it was. Plus, they wanted me to take on this second role of joining the board of this other group that they want to grow as well. And then so I sat down with the CEO and chairman and said, "Look, I'm capable of doing the job and I will do the job for you and I can do a job. But you lot are taking the piss trying to do it for getting me 50, to do this for 50k. This is like a 80 to 100k role. Like, pay me the money and I'll do it." So yeah, and I think the reason for that for me is because it's like any kind of deal in any kind of relationship. If both parties aren't walking away feeling happy and satisfied, if one person's whole, like Olivia, for example, if Olivia's doing this work, but deep down she's now been doing it for 2 years, so there's a part of her that's now starting to feel a bit, I don't want to say resentful, but a little bit, you know, unjust or done towards because she's going, well, hang on, I'm doing all this work, I'm carrying all this emotional baggage, I'm doing all this prep for the sessions, the post sessions, it's draining on me. Yeah, I'm sat here sort of, doing all this good value work. So I think finding that connection and being brave enough to say, to have that self confidence and say, look, I can do this job for you. I know I'm good at it. I can continue doing it for you, but you need to pay me because otherwise you just put undue pressure on yourself for not being compensated for this work that you're doing or not being compensated fairly for this work you're doing. And then all you're doing is kind of masking that everything's fine when really there's loads of shit going on in your life because you're giving time, you're giving your time to do this, but if your time is not being rewarded or compensated in the right way, you're causing a bunch of other peripheral issues for yourself. So my take on it now is that, just ask for what you feel you're worth. And what's the worst that's going to happen?
Mm.
If they say no, then maybe that's not the right place for you anyway, because then
Yeah,
they don't see your worth and they don't value you. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Walk away, and sometimes you need that one door to close for others to open. And I
yeah,
think it's just having that courage to just go, look, we need to have a grown-up conversation about this. This is what I'm doing. I'm willing to do it. And if they're not willing to compensate you fairly for it, then maybe it's not a good fit in the first place.
yeah.
So Olivia, in this role, who's the client? Who's going to be paying you?
Way through.
And way through is what?
It's like CGL. It's just like a company like them, an organization like CGL.
Ruth, go into company's house quickly and let's see what way through is.
This down. I'm on company's house at the minute.
There we go. So all right. So Olivia, the in organizations there are 5 levels of leadership. Yeah. And the first level is culture. Yeah. You've got to make sure you're working in the right environment, the right culture.
Yeah,
Yeah. Level 2 is about structure, bureaucracy, paperwork. Yeah. Level 3 is about leadership. Level 4 is about teams. And level 5 is about Ubuntu. Yeah.
Was it
Just
way through? Sorry, David.
way through, I think she said.
yeah,
Yeah. Now, level 1 leadership organizations are things like jails. Yeah. Where you're very fucking tight. Everything's controlled. You're fucking locked up. You're locked in. People do barter with kind of sex and drugs and cigarettes and fucking hustle. Yeah. The next level, level 2, where there's a bureaucracy, is like the DVLC or universal credit, or it's like you got to go through the paperwork. There's lines, there's queues, pick up this form, go to that form. Level 3 leadership is where an organization, everyone's competing amongst themselves as an individual. Oh, I'm going off to Aspen for my winter holidays. Oh, my kid's just gotten into Oxford. Oh, I'm doing an MBA, where people are individuals and they're kind of bragging amongst themselves. A level 4 organization is where it's about the team and the people and fuck, come on, guys, let's work together in this stuff. And level 5 is where, guys, we're just doing this because it has to be done for the country. Yeah. So LERO, so good LERO is going to be at level 5. Yeah. It's like, fuck, we're all fucked up. We've seen so much pain. It's the right thing to do. It's like when people have come out of the struggle, when they're fighting for something and we've got to rebuild, it's like that's the level that they operate at. Yeah. And um so let's take Recovery Connections, for example. Yep. They are level 5. They tried to be level 5. They need to maintain level 5 culture. Yep. Or let's take the ANC and the African National Congress after apartheid finished. Yeah. And they had the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where everyone had to come together and kind of confess about what happened, all the secrets, so the country could start to rebuild. Now, people that are coming from lived experience organizations have been impacted by the war on drugs, the stigmatization, fucking racial prejudice, being locked up, fucking DBS checks, all this fucking chaos we are trying to recover from. Does that make sense, Olivia?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've gone through a fucking war, a traumatic war. Yep. And you're just like, fucking, I'll just show up and I'll just do my bit and whatever. However, unless you start to build the other structures below it, it's going to collapse. Yeah. So an organization needs to work on its culture first. Like, what the fuck do we do around here? So way through, yeah, you need to ask yourself, is this an organization that I want to work with? Because if I want to get up and go to work and work with them, then I'm gonna fucking give it my all. Yep.
Yeah, I've
The
heard some like kind of different stories about it. Marcus has worked for a way through.
Okay.
And he's said good things about it.
Okay.
But sometimes I hear people kind of comment about where I work, where I volunteer, and I don't really want to say it because it's being
Okay,
recorded.
so organizations get praised by some
Yeah,
people and criticism by other people.
yeah, yeah,
That's the organization's job. Yeah.
yeah.
You need to kind of think like, how is partnering with this organization going to help me? So let's just find out what kind of organization it is. What kind of organization are they, Ruth?
They've rebranded quite a lot.
Okay, so
They
when
used to
companies
be,
rebrand, it's like, fuck, we got to change things. Yep, they
yeah,
used to be.
humankind.
Okay.
So they've had numerous names. Which one? There's about 3 different things logged for way through, I've noticed. Where's the first one? Where is it? So
Oh,
yeah,
I
you've
love
had
this stuff.
humankind, you've had developing initiatives in the community, then limited, then Durham initiatives for support, and then Durham training and enterprise limited. So they've changed quite a lot. And it was only last year, by the looks of it, they changed over to humankind, not to way through, which is a private company limited by guarantee without share capital.
So what's that? So they're a private company. They're not a
Yeah,
charity.
they're not a charity, they're not a kick. They are limited by guarantee, but they're not able to share any capital that they get in. So I think it still has to go back into the company. I think that's what it means.
All right. So there might be a charity
No, they're not a charity.
set up as a company where the shareholders. Well, let's get curious about that. Let's fucking
They're
try and work
they're
out.
they're part of London, part of Slum, South London.
Okay. All right. So they're
They
tied
are
into
the
the
Maudsley.
NHS.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great. All right. The NHS is a perfect level 2 organization. Yep, I started having seizures. I went over to South Africa. I got treatment. I got medication. I came back here. My script ran out. I needed to get new medication. I went to the chemist. The chemist said, no, because you haven't been seen here. You have to go there. Ended up going to emergency, and I had to wait there for 8 hours before I could see a doctor to get medication. The bureaucratic process was fucking huge and frustrating and expensive. That makes it like we all know what that's like. Poor doctors, they want to see a patient, they got 15 minutes, and they got all this paperwork that they need to fucking fill out.
Mm.
Okay. All right.
My key worker, can you delete this? Because I don't want to kind of we're discussing way through, and I'm going for a job, and I don't want them seeing this.
No, so before we delete this, yep, because I think this is really important, yep. And why I think it's important, it's these are the types of discussions that need to be had to improve organizations. Now, my agenda is I really want Way Through to do well. Yep. I really want you to do well. Yep. And I want the organization to benefit from you. Yep. And I want you to benefit from the organization. So if we could just hold it for a little bit.
Okay.
And let's just think that through. Yeah. If they said, no, Olivia, we don't want to see you now. Yeah. When you're someone here that's fucking really just trying to work out, then that is definitely not the organization you want to work with.
I
And
agree.
Olivia, I promise you, if I had funding, I'd give you a job straight away. You are fucking gold.
Thanks.
And I
Yeah.
think what
Get me a job then.
Well, I need funding.
and I think what
Okay.
David said there is you don't want to be somewhere where they don't see your worth and value
Yeah.
because you won't end up bringing out your true potential and your true authentic self. You essentially you're falling into another
Mm.
trap where you're going to now be somewhere because you needed a job and you need the money, and I get that, and I've been there myself. And now you're in this job, and now you've got the money, but you fucking hate it, and you hate the people you're with, and you're fucking depressed, and
Mm.
then that has a big toll and a knock-on effect and a ripple effect, not only to you but
Mm.
then to your environment and to your loved ones, so that when you're coming home for your kids, for your siblings, for your whoever, you're not showing up as the best version of Olivia, which then has that ripple effect there. So it's super important to make sure that you're somewhere where you feel valued and you want to be there, and it's doing good for your self-esteem and confidence, and you're
I do
growing.
I do feel like the staff, they all want me to get a job.
Great.
They have all kind
Great.
of put forward that
Great. So you're
you know,
wanted.
yeah, the staff want me.
Wonderful. I want you. They want you. You're wanted, Olivia. What does that feel like?
My ex wants me, but I won't have him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
bless him.
What's that like? Now we might need to delete.
It's like, God, don't want to go into that. It's just crazy.
Relationships never end. Eh? They can never end. I'm just going to
I don't
get my
have
kids
kids for
again
him
to clean
either.
up.
Like, you think I'd be able to get, like, but no, he's a good man. It just didn't work.
I'm loving this conversation. Are you still learning about coaching? Are we still on track?
Yeah.
Yeah? Belly?
Yes, David.
Are we on track? Are we learning about coaching?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I get so excited. I just suddenly thinking, fuck, is this my agenda? What's going on here? Like,
No. I think it's just a different style, But I think, yeah, definitely still feel like I'm learning about coaching, and it's good because it kind of when you're in that kind of pressure cooker coaching situation, sometimes it's good to be able to kind of ask the questions to give yourself that time to step back and step back in.
okay, so most organizations work like this. Yeah, here you have the customers, or the clients, or the participants, or the human service users, whatever, and then they meet the frontline people. Yeah. And the frontline people, they have team leads, and then you've got managers, and senior managers, and then you've got the CEO at the top. Make sense? And it's a top-down approach. Yep. And you're coming in here, Olivia, and these people here are saying, come, come, come. Yeah. And these people are saying, well, you've got to fill out the paperwork and do all that sort of stuff. Yep. And now you're kind of worried about, oh, fuck, is the man at the top going to watch this video and find out? And, yep.
I just say something about the man on top. I wouldn't worry about it because I've been having a bit of a nosy through. Out of 56 appointments, 46 have gone. It seems to be that all the way through this sort of change the name or rebrand is to get new directors in.
Okay. So what does that tell us?
Um,
Run, Olivia, run.
yeah,
So I wouldn't run yet.
No,
I wouldn't
I
run
won't.
yet.
The
But
thing is, like the clients, I've like because I've built up such a good rapport with all the clients, and
wonderful.
the ketamine group is just getting bigger and bigger. You know.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's just flip this on its head for a bit. Now we'll look at a servant leadership based organization. Yep. Where the client, yep, is still fucking at the top there. And then you still got the frontline people. And then you got the teams, same structure. And there you've got the CEO. But actually, the wisdom comes from here. They're the people with the power and the knowledge.
Mm.
Yep. And I like to think I'm here. I really like to think, sometimes I get it wrong, but I like to think, oh, fuck, how can I help? What do you need? I don't know what's going on. Tell me what needs to happen. As opposed to what you need to do is this. This is command, control, tell. This is co-creative, collaborative conversations. So if you went into the interview and said, oh, I see you've had 46 directors since you've been registered at Companies House, which is public knowledge, yep, over the past 10 years or something. I want to know what's my career path here. I would shit in my pants if somebody came in and said, oh, well, David, we've looked at Companies House. We found out about your kick and wah, 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 wah. I'd say, wow, this person's really,
Done their homework.
yeah. So, Ruth, let's go a little bit further with this. Do they have a website?
Company's house at the minute, there's nothing on there, so they've got a website, but I can have a little look.
Olivia, are you uncomfortable with this?
No, I am. No, I'm all
Yes,
right.
you are. Okay. Well, let's pause if it is too much. Yeah. So
Marcus gave me a link yesterday. Let me pull it up.
Does Marcus think they're a good organization?
He said, yeah, he liked
Great.
it. Yeah.
Fucking trust Marcus.
Yeah.
He's one of us.
He says to do lots of training and stuff like that as well. So
Great. Great.
yeah.
And it sounds like you've got good relationship with their community that they're trying to reach.
Yeah.
Looks like your groups are growing, which is what they want to do. So they want evidence to the people that are giving them money to say, how are you fucking spending the money? What's our return on the investment? And in fact, NPOs and charities often treat people worse than corporates do. Look at nursing. Look at school teachers.
My daughter is working in her company. My youngest daughter, she's been working in her company 5 years yesterday. And her boss bought her a Louis Vuitton bag.
Oh, wow.
I was like, and she's on about 32. She's only 21.
And she got a Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah.
Can't be a real one.
No, a real one. Yeah.
Jesus, what does she do?
She works, it's a lift company, lift engineers.
Oh, okay.
And she's one of the accountants that sorts out there in the office.
Okay, so she
But
makes
they're
sure the
friends
money
with-
comes in.
Yeah, they're my best friends, and my ex-husband is a lift engineer, So that's how I kind of knew them. And it's all kind of embedded in like, so I never kind of get away from him, because when they have parties and stuff like that, we're all invited. So he's always there.
Okay.
But we've
Well,
got a good relationship.
I'll tell you something. The lift at the Harley Street office is broken. So if you want to, if you want to,
I'll give you the name, you can ring them up.
no, that's not my job. That's fucking landlord's job.
But yeah, no, she's been working there. She went in there to do some work experience for 2 weeks. When you're in school, you have to do 2 weeks work experience. And then my mate rang me up. She said, "We want to offer a job. What do you think?" And she had a choice to go to college or get the job. And I spoke with my ex, and he said, "Oh, just like it sounds like a good decision." So yeah, she's been there 5 years now.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And my other daughter is a chemist. She works in a chemist,
Oh,
pharmacist.
I'll be interested to meet her.
And she does private kind of lips and fillers and Botox, and that's why I look like this. No, I'm joking. Yeah, she does all of them plants and stuff like that. Yeah. So both of them have done well for themselves. I've done something right.
Isn't that nice, sir?
Yeah. They're
Ah,
very really strong, independent women. They're very they got their head screwed on, unlike their mum.
it's amazing how we the messages we tell ourselves.
The thing is, my oldest 28-year-old, she's like her dad. She's really fiery and very, and then my youngest one, 21-year-old, she's very kind of timid, and she doesn't like shouting or rowing and stuff like that. Yeah, so they're like two opposites. That's quite funny, you know.
All right, let's take do you want a smoke and a vape break? 7 minutes? Does that get your coffee in and your vape? Bally, how long do you want? 10 minutes? Would you want an
10
hour
would be good.
break, Bally?
Yeah, I need to make a sandwich. I'm hungry.
A sandwich, 10 minutes. All right, see you all at 5 past.
Okay.
Okay.
See you then.
Right. Mm.
Are you humming Irish lullabies there, Olivia?
Hello, is there anybody out there?
Crazy.
Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anyone home?
Right. Let's do a
Stop.
check-in. I check in feeling a bit sad. I was meant to meet my son at the airport. He's coming back. And then he says he'd rather catch an Uber home.
Oh,
So I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. We just, anyway. Oh, I have such mixed feelings around this stuff. So anyway, I feel sad. Olivia?
yeah, I'm feeling good. I've got something else to bring.
Oh, get your money's worth, love. Go for it. Ruth?
I'm distracted. I'm trying to learn how my scanning thing works on my printer because I'm having a bit of a ball ache with my kick 3.6. So I get a bit frustrated with it, but I'm all good.
Belly?
I'm good. I enjoyed the first hour. That was very good. I enjoyed the content that we covered. So I'm looking forward to the next hour as much as my sandwich that I managed to make in time.
Well done. All right. Well, Olivia, what would you like to bring to the container now?
Has anybody heard of this? Is a new thing they're supposed to be bringing in that they don't want to call people an addict anymore, or an alcoholic, or a drug abuser, or clean. You have to change the terminology to like a person experiencing addiction, a person with alcohol dependence, alcohol use disorder, a drug abuser, person who uses drugs, clean, absent, substance free, dirty urine, positive drug screen. Is that what's called, a dirty urine? If it's a So has anybody heard of these things that's the new thing meant to be happening?
Yeah, I agree with it. I think it should be person-centered, whatever they
Yeah.
prefer, whatever term they prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. I think we need to move away from the label
Yeah.
because when a person's then in recovery, when they're getting referred to that, they're always going to feel that they're still that person as well.
Mm.
So
I used to
Yeah.
work somewhere and he used to hate the term being like drug abuse. He was like, I didn't abuse my drugs. I use them really well. Thank you very much. It was like, so that made me laugh a little bit. So yeah, I get it and I totally agree with it.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. David, you're writing
Uh,
again.
yeah. So we've got the 4Q model. Yeah, which is IQ, EQ, SQ, and PQ. So IQ is technical ability, the ability to do something. You know how to have coaching conversations, build containers, have courageous conversations. You can tell what your emotions are, what other people's emotions are, and what the emotion in the container is. You've got spiritual intelligence, which basically means don't be a prick. Now you're in a position of power. Yeah. Like don't abuse that power. And then you've got political intelligence. Yeah. And if we expand on political intelligence and we go into organizations, we want to use coaching on leadership. Yep. And on management. Yep. So coaching is a skill set to grow the culture of the organization. And as the organization grows, you need to have additional skills come into the organization. You need to be wiser, and the organization needs to not become a prick. Yeah. So that's a kind of growth path. So when you start to talk about language, yeah, you're trying to work at the culture level using political intelligence. So if I go into a police station to build relationships with the police, if I go in there and say ACAB, yeah, but it's going to impact me being received in that culture. That wouldn't be very politically correct in terms of building rapport, especially when the culture of that organization has been to oppress people like myself. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when we use words like that, let's go through some of the correct terms.
It was addict, person
Well,
experiencing addiction.
you can call people addicts.
No, you can't. Instead of saying addict, you say a person. Sorry, I've gone. Oh, I've lost it. Instead of saying addict, you say a person experiencing addiction. And then we're alcoholic, a person with alcohol dependency, alcohol use disorder. Drug abuser, person who uses drugs. Clean means absent, substance free. Dirty urine, positive drug screen. Non-complaint, not currently engaging, facing barriers to engagement.
So
Relapse, return
yeah,
to use.
return of symptoms, return to use. Okay. So the language on the one hand side is stigmatizing language,
Yeah,
and on the other side, it's what?
it's like the what we should consider.
Yeah, yeah, but what's that language called?
It's just an other orientated language, traditional language versus recovery orientated language.
Okay, recovery orientated language. So this is how you speak around here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. We don't refer to our participants as dirty junkies. They're people that are experiencing addiction.
yeah.
Okay.
And resistant, not yet ready for change, manipulative, trying to meet a need in an unhelpful way. Failed treatment, treatment did not meet the person's needs.
Okay. So now you've gone from positive to negative.
Mm.
So the person's not being manipulative, they're just not ready to engage at this point in time. Okay. So when you hear this stuff, what comes up inside of all of you? What feeling? Anger, sadness, fear, or joy? Guilt and shame.
I feel that I'm Olivia. My name's Olivia. I'm not like Olivia the alcoholic. I'm Olivia.
What feeling?
Feeling sorry. Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay. So when you say I feel I'm Olivia, for me there was a sense of anger in there. So no, fuck that. I'm Olivia.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm Olivia.
And don't apologize, please.
I know you don't like smart, but smart is kind of that's what smart's
That
basic thing about.
it's not that I don't like smart. I think smart's great. Yeah, I think the 12 steps are great. I just think there's so much more that can be put on offer.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we should be fucking not giving people either free programs or minimum wage
Mm.
programs run by people that haven't been professionalized. Yep.
The difficulty with the AA, because people go into AA and they say like I'm Olivia, I'm an alcoholic. They've like it took people like a long time to admit that, and then to be told that you can't use that anymore. So there is that kind of debate going back and forth between AA and like the clients.
Okay. Bally, Ruth,
Um,
I'm just trying to manage my anger here.
I think it makes me feel sad.
Sad.
Um, yeah, for I think for a couple of reasons. One, sadness that people have had to go through this. But then the other part of the sadness is that there's a bunch of people out there that don't really understand how the labeling of people can affect them, and that they'll just go around and just ban these labels out there with just no experience, no knowledge, no understanding of how complex it can be, and they're just quick to just throw around all these labels, whatever the labels are.
The feeling, Belly? Sadness.
Sadness, and I suppose a combination of sadness and anger.
Okay. Ruth?
Proud of whatever fucker came up with it, because Vi's got a shred of humanity and actually looking at people rather than the labels. Also a bit of sadness that it's like we should be looking at the whole community as a whole.
Yeah, I was thinking about like with you with your ADHD. You don't like to be defined by that, do you? You want to be.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I've got ADHD, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We should be having an ADHD anonymous, instead of I'm ADHD, I'm about to use shit. But yeah, I just think labels of everywhere, it needs to be stopped and stopped looking at what a person is, but why the person is the way they are, why they're in addiction, why they're depressed, why they're stressed, what is going on with that person. So maybe it's just the start. Maybe it's the start of whoever this fucker is who's got this little shred of humanity in them. Maybe we can get that developed across the whole community as a whole, no matter what people are going through. Maybe a bit of hope I've got there as well.
So hope's a spiritual principle.
All right.
Yeah. And there's a passion in your voice so the joy is made up with a bit of anger as well. It's like, fucking yes, it's got a shred of humanity and it's a good thing, and like yeah.
I've kind of done a worksheet that I might do with my clients next week. I'm just reading what I've done. So, in reflection, what do we see first? Do we see the diagnosis, the behavior, or the risk? Or do we see the person, their strengths, their goals, and their recovery capital?
So from a coaching perspective, I believe that the individual that we're coaching should have an understanding of their mental health and what diagnosis they have been given. Yep. And to be empowered around that. Yeah. And as a practitioner, I need to be aware of where I don't have lived experience around that. So Bali has got more melatonin in his skin than I have.
What's melatonin?
Is it melatonin? No, it's not melatonin. What's the pigment that makes skin brown?
No
I
idea.
think you're right, David.
Huh?
I think you're right with what you said. What did you say?
Melatonin. No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Is that a skin condition?
No, it's not a condition.
No, you give melatonin that helps sleep as well, though, don't you?
Yeah,
For
yeah,
autistic
yeah,
kids. But
It's about
So-
moving from what's wrong with you to what happened to you, and how can we help. So that's basically what we should be kind of going in with first.
melanin, David, melanin.
Melanin, there we go.
Melanin. There we go.
Bally's got more melanin in him than me. Yeah, which basically means I'm whiter and he's browner. Yep. And I have no daily experience of what it's like to have a browner complexion like Bally does. But I am aware of my pale complexion and how much privilege goes with that is unearned, whether I want to believe it or not. Does that make sense? Okay. And I really get fucking pissed off when people come with like, have we got enough BAME community members here? And have we got tick box? And okay, Bali, yeah, where are you from? South Asian. Yeah, okay, yeah, we got some nice brown skin there. That's that tick box. Look, we're diverse. Oh, Ruth, what you? Oh, yeah, you said you were ADHD batty nuts. That shit. That was your words, Ruth. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bad shit. Sorry, I'm in trouble. I didn't label her correctly. Yeah,
You didn't. I get cross.
yeah, yeah. And Olivia's Irish, so we
I'm
got
not
that.
gypsy Irish, though. I'm just Irish.
No, I think it's called Traveller Aware.
Oh, that's what they need to be writing.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think the gypsy would like that. I think the gypsies like being called gypsies.
Yeah.
So I think this would be a good discussion to have with the clients and see how they feel and what like other terms they could bring up. So I might do that.
It's a quick question.
Yes.
Is called somebody a client labeling them? I don't think I personally would like to be called a client.
Mm.
Didn't think of that one. I'll write that down.
So hospitals treat patients. Schools have students. Police have criminals.
No, not necessarily, because not everyone's a criminal.
Okay.
There are people that they pursue, but I don't know what the police's word for subject matters. But until they're obviously charged with something, they're not a criminal, are they?
Police also support victims of crimes as well, don't they?
There we go.
Okay. So okay. Charities.
Well, this is the weird thing because every charity tends the people that they support and work with. Everybody finds you need to refer to them as something. So at Epic, for example, we call them delegates.
A delegate for
Delegate.
beneficiaries.
Well, we call them delegates. When I was in my last role at the prison one, and everyone used to call them all the horrible names that really annoyed me. But because it was a recruitment service, I made sure that we referred to everyone as a candidate. Because that was the language I was used to. That in the recruitment corporate world, everybody was you had your client who was the person who had the job, who essentially paying you the money should you get a successful placement. They were the client, and the candidate were essentially the people. So I try to kind of change the narrative and try to refer to everybody as a candidate because that's what they were. They were a candidate that we worked with.
So, Olivia, you're a good candidate for recovery. Would you like to stop drinking?
Done that years ago, mate.
But then I've heard other ones like service user. I hate service user.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one really.
That one comes a lot.
I'm not a big fan of delegate. These like refer to them as delegate. I'm not a big fan of delegate either, to be honest with you. But I've heard service user, delegate, client, candidate. The people, man. That's it. They're just people. The people that we support with whom we work. That's it. Like, but for the sake of CRMs and systems and everything, I suppose everybody needs to give them some sort of labeling.
title.
Hey?
We'll give them a title
Yes.
rather than a label. A title.
Title. Yes, I like that, Ruth. I like that.
Many people are moving away from the term client.
Mm.
The common alternatives are the person
Is this
I'm
one
supporting.
of the training courses you do?
No, it's just me doing it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just creating something for a meeting. I'll just send it over.
Okay.
The individual
reason why you should get a job.
Yeah, the individual attending the group, often used in groups and programs. That's instead of participant. A member is a common in peer support and recovery communities.
A community member.
Service use is still widely used in the NHS. a patient appropriate in medical settings, peer in mutual aid or peer support contexts. That's what I am.
What are you?
It says as a peer, you're in mutual aid or peer supporting contexts. Doesn't make any sense really.
Okay.
Coachee in relationships. Ah,
So in organizations, you get many different roles. Yeah. And you get good leadership and good management. And then you get bad leadership and bad management. And often with bad management, you'll have somebody who's acting out in a way based around some childhood wound that hasn't been addressed. So I wasn't seen as a child. I'm going to make sure I'm seen as an adult. And the way that I do that is in the workplace, I become a petty tyrant. And a petty tyrant is someone who goes around and fucking causes tyranny because people aren't using the right word, the right form, the right tick box, or whatever. And you get a lot of people that have lived experience that use language and behavior to build rapport. And they go into an organization, and the level 2 culture, the bureaucracy, and the level 3, the individual leadership, and the culture, fucking, there's friction there. Does that make sense? And what you want to try and do in organizational development in this area is to move the organization up.
yeah.
Just like you want to move the family to a culture of resilience, out of a culture of adversity to a culture of resilience. So when I developed the model, I had fucking addict at the top, addict, family member, workplace. And over time, I developed the model in 2005. Yeah. Over time, as the culture's changed, language has changed. Now I got to fucking change my mind. Now I feel a sense of, oh God, I can't say addict here. And I got to go, well, okay, adversity. So he's a fucking junkie. Jesus Christ. And I feel comfortable saying that because I'm one. Yeah. I have a strong identity around that. I have a sense of pride around that.
So it's really up to the individual then, the person, as you said, person-centered.
Yeah, but when you're in a position of power, yep, even though it's like, oh, I'm just here to help, whatever you need, you're still in a position of power. People are still going to look to you. And we just need to be aware of this stuff. So I use shaming language all the time, but I don't use it to shame. Hopefully it kind of builds rapport, and then people go, oh, fuck, thank God somebody said it. And I use it in the training context because a lot of people want to come, oh, let's go help those poor substance users. It's like, fuck, if you can't handle swear words and chaos and all that stuff, you're not going to be able to build rapport. No, but God told me to come and do it. I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Do you know what I mean? That's more about you and your
beliefs.
Well, it's beyond beliefs because there's an unconscious kind of.
Yeah, I understand.
So like what's the best religion for alcoholism?
Do you mean in terms when you say what's the best religion, like for it or against it? I don't understand the question.
When I was growing up, the priests were always drunk. the big red faces and big red nose is just such a giveaway. Knocking back the wine when they're drinking it.
All right, let me ask this question. What's the most successful program in the world? Most successful recovery program?
AA. No, is that what you're saying?
I'm asking the question. AA, I would.
Well, that's the top one. I thought, like, everybody kind of goes to that for alcohol, don't they?
So AA was started by the Oxford Group,
Yeah.
which was a Christian fellowship organization based on the early Christian church, yeah, where people would come together and confess their problems.
I've
And
done that
that's
many a day. I've done that many times.
yeah, and the people that started it, yeah, both Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob. Yep, Dr. Bob came from a very fundamentalist Christian background in Arkansas, and Bill Wilson had a couple of white light experiences. Yep, and real kind of religious experiences, and he would drive Anglo-Saxon Calvinistic type agenda. Yeah. But if we actually just pause for a second and we take that religious lens for what's successful, I would say Islam is the most successful.
For and for what?
For alcohol, alcohol's haram.
Bro, okay.
I'm
What?
I, I'm
I'm
not
going to dispute that because
okay.
if I go into Birmingham and they're all at it. They,
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying whether Muslim people drink.
right.
I'm saying as from a moral religious perspective, the
Mm,
religion is structured in a way.
mm. Yeah, but what data are we using to kind of qualify or quantify this?
Well, I would say the Bible and the Quran.
Yeah, but then okay, but the Sikh
Well, you
religion.
started him off now, David.
Yeah,
No, but in the Sikh religion as well. So where if you're a religious Sikh, then you're not meant to be drinking, smoking, anything either. So I think with Islam, because of the numbers that are attached to it, of how many people would be classed as Muslim or connected to the faith of Islam, numbers wise, you're going to get the highest number. But I would disagree that it's the most successful because of my sort of personal observations and knowing of people of that faith. Yeah.
so I'm going to take the conversation a little bit further.
Mm,
Yeah. So when addiction treatment moved out of the moral space and into the medical space, where people were labeled, yep, with a medical lens, yep, the culture started to change.
okay.
Yep. So AA was very successful. Yep. And then in the early 60s, because of the success of AA, they made alcoholism a disease, a medical disease based on DSM-5 criteria, and you could go and see a doctor and be diagnosed with alcoholism.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the 70s, with the war on drugs and the fight against communism, yeah, there was a split where drugs, yeah, where the war on drugs enhanced, like the war on Vietnam, the hippie movement, psychedelics, all that stuff was pushed aside. Yep. So alcohol was still legal, but everything else was kind of illegal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what happened is that the clinical system and the medical world said, okay, well, let's treat everyone with, regardless of what their medical diagnosis is, yeah, let's just treat them in the clinic and then send them to AA for aftercare. Yeah. So it costs too much the aftercare side of things. Let's just bung everyone into AA. Yep. And then AA started to get filled up with a whole lot of people that have dual diagnosis problems, yeah, that really started to impact the culture of AA.
Hmm.
How am I doing? Is this conversation landing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to fucking listen to you.
No, no, no. It is. I'm just wondering where we're going sort of next.
So now we've moved on to so the conversation started with using words and non-shaming behavior and stigma language and being professional and all that. And I'm just kind of talking about the journey of this sort of stuff. Yeah. Now what we are striving for, yep, is we are working in the place of wellness. People are well. Some days they're weller than others. Yeah. Giving people agency to fucking take responsibility for their lives and the choices that they make. And now I'm lost. I don't know where I am. But the language conversation fucking triggers me. And maybe I'm not seeing something, but I just feel there's some sort of fucking control there that stops me from being me.
Hmm. So, what would you rather happen with the language conversation?
I'd much rather have courageous conversations.
Hmm. Why
Yeah,
do why do you think that doesn't happen?
because people don't want to fucking have the courageous conversations because they feel uncomfortable.
Okay, what else could it be?
Uh, what else could it be? I don't know. Yeah, well, I mean,
It's something
I
that
think
you
a lot
took.
of people just don't want to talk about stuff.
It's something that you talked about earlier when you was talking about sort of management and corporate and how companies are set up as well.
So I think in the workspace environment,
Mhm.
diversity, equity, and inclusion is actually very good for the bottom line and for profit.
Mm.
Organizations that are kind of set up with like the old boys club, and we're all like, maybe I'm completely wrong.
Yeah. Ruth, Olivia, what do you guys think in terms of the language conversation and why it does happen and why it doesn't happen?
I think people are looking more into like focusing on the person as an individual and not trying to and make them feel responsible for their recovery.
Mm. Mm. Yeah,
You
possibly.
know, taking the like stop using the fact that you've got like you're a alcoholic or you're a druggie or whatever. Um, that you are a person that's
Mm.
got a mom and a dad and
Yep.
brothers and sisters and family.
Yep.
You know, not just an alcoholic.
Hmm. No, I agree, and I think that's important for the person in recovery as well to feel like I'm a real person, not just I'm another statistic and a number that's being treated to get to be fixed or made better. The moment you empower someone to say take a bit of ownership in your actions and your life, because like you said, you're a father, a mother, a brother, whatever. um I think commits them more to their journey. Ruth, do you want to come in?
Sorry, my middle daughter decided to just barge her way through as you were talking now. I was on mute. She's still in the kitchen now. And about labels, so I actually wrote something about labels a few weeks ago. And my last line was basically, if any of your downfalls was down to one word, how would that make you feel?
Yeah, love that. Love that.
Yeah, that's quite
love
good.
that.
Thank you. You go now. Right there. Is that fun? Bye.
I think that's a good way of communicating it, Ruth, to somebody. And look, it's fine if somebody. I want as many people as possible to not have had trauma and not had fuck ups and not have all the issues. So it's fine that that person's had it. But I think if for that person to try and resonate and understand how it feels, I think that's a really, really good way of expressing it and communicating it.
I think labels are good in somewhere. Like it can be positive. Me getting my diagnosis was extremely positive. I understood myself and I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then it's the negative labels that I disagree with. And it's the positive labels that I do agree with, but it's the people who say we shouldn't be labeling people, these positive ones. And I feel like, are you somebody who doesn't actually need to have one? Does that make sense?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And then are you quite freely using any of the negative connotations and negative labels towards people who don't want to be labelled something such as alky? You know what I mean? It's I think it's quite a difficult and complex conversation to have.
It is. It is. I think that in my experience, the bit that's annoyed me is the people who are driving these conversations, David. So what I was trying to get at before is the people who are the leadership and those management, they're the people who for different reasons are insisting that we need to be using this language. Now, whether that's because they're getting knocked back for funding applications or whether it's the board of trustees are telling them to do it, we don't know fully where that's coming from.
So there's an
But
outside influence.
there must be, yeah,
Yeah.
there's got to be. It's not me, Ruth, and Olivia turn up to work and we go, "Hey guys, why don't we do this?" We're being told that we need to use this narrative and language. And this is similar to politics, I suppose, but quite often the people who are in those rooms deciding this haven't got a fucking clue about like anything, like they're just fucking clueless. Like, not saying they haven't got a clue about anything, but this kind of stuff, the stuff that Olivia, Ruth, me, we feel it, we've been there, we've done it, we've got the lived experience, and then we're getting told by these people who haven't got any kind of lived experience that this is how you should be speaking to them. And it's like, the fuck do you know about how we should be speaking to people? You
Well,
go
I'm
in.
better educated than you, dear boy.
Yes, yeah, exactly. You're going to have this meeting, send this instruction, then you're going to go off to your yacht in Saint Tropez or wherever you are, and then you want the results and you want the outcome. I just find that bit frustrating. And when somebody who's got the right voice to voice it, they can be very patronizing. Is the only word.
Somebody's got the right voice to voice it. Let's explore that for a second. Who
So
is that somebody?
well,
What's-
us, the people who are on the front line, the people who have lived it, experienced it, been through all the fuck ups and everything, and are still here to tell, not only to tell the story, but are trying to um, use those negative experiences and turn that into positive for the greater good of the world. Try and make the world a better place and all that cheesy stuff. That's us.
I think it's a conversation to have with, I'm going to say clients, but in group settings, and get feedback from what the people that are using the services would like what they're feeling about it. Like, maybe do that.
No, I agree.
Because they might say that they like being called a junkie or an addict or an alcoholic.
True.
Next group meeting, I've gone, that's an alcoholic, and what are you again? You're pressing
What
buttons,
what
Liz.
label are
You're
you coming in
dependent.
as today? As we're doing our check-in, what's your label? Yes, I'm a
Yeah.
fucking junkie. Listen, if it
Uh,
works, it works. If it gets people talking and it gets them to
yeah.
feel better about themselves at the end of the group session, then
I might actually start the group like that. I might actually go, so what would you label yourself today? And see what I would get back.
yeah, let's
Me,
do it.
pregnant.
In your pants.
Hmm.
Right, let's start to think about winding up the container. Let's extrapolate some learnings. What's your takeaway today, Phil? What's the next step?
To value my worth and believe in myself.
Yeah, 100%.
And how would you do that?
Well, as I said, I'm gonna sit back, see what happens at the interview, see the outcome, and then make a decision. I might get it and just go, I don't want the job actually.
You
No,
know,
And
no.
how can we as your peers support you?
I think you have already. You've
Yeah,
already
no, we
given
want to
me.
give you more support and hold you accountable.
Can you ask me that
But
next week?
yeah,
Can
no,
that be my homework?
if you're not seeing your brilliance, Olivia, it's our job to fucking pick you up. Don't you think? Bellied,
yeah,
Ruth?
very much so. 100%. 100%.
Like you playing small, Olivia, doesn't help us.
Hmm, yeah. I think because I've put because everything was so fast paced, and like before my addiction and mom, child minding, house, kids, all that kind of stuff. And where I am at the moment, I'm settled, I'm content,
Oh, okay.
and but I want more,
Okay.
and I know I can do more.
Okay. Great.
So it's like just making that next step.
Great. Okay. Me too. I'm also settled and content and I want more. And I give a lot and I want value for that. So I want acknowledgement. I want to be seen.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't want to take the piss, but something's got to give for me too. I'm like comfortable in this.
I think you should open up a big, massive place and we all go work for you, David.
Well,
Yes,
let's do it. Let's
let's do
fucking
that.
do it.
That sounds good.
Get
Let's
some
do it.
funding, David.
I'll
Well,
get the funding. I'll get the
great.
funding.
Okay, so Belly and Ruth, that's your homework, huh?
Yeah, get
You have
some
to go
funding.
to. You have to go to. Where do you live again? Lambert, is it? No, Battersea. Have to be based in Battersea then.
That's
Why?
fine.
No, bullshit, going global. Fuck that shit.
We'll start off there then.
Let's
It's
go
easy
Vegas.
for me to get there.
Let's
You
go
live there.
Vegas. Let's open it. Let's open a place in Vegas. We'll have loads of clients there, David. There's loads of fucked up people in Vegas.
Ruth, what's your takeaway? And thank you so much for going onto Company's House and doing that stuff and
I like doing that shit.
huh?
I like doing that shit. I like looking at things and finding little patterns, and
Yeah.
I just get, yeah, I get a bit carried away. But yeah, I learned that way through, and that they've had lots of different directors. That was interesting. I really loved the EA bit that you told about Dr. Bob and how that all stemmed. I really enjoyed listening about that. And Olivia, you do need to know your worth, chick. I've already met you for a few times, but you're freaking incredible, babe. Seriously, find your worth.
Thank
I
you.
said to Mark the other week, get your field. You're worth so much more.
Thank you.
Bailey?
I'm good. My takeaway has been, yeah, we need to be more proud of the journey that we've been on and the worth that we can now bring to the table in whatever capacity we're working in, whether it's a LERO or charity or like wade through or just a corporate role. Like I had an interview yesterday. It's more for a sales job, and I think I shocked him because I was answering questions not like a normal corporate monkey would. I was just being real. He was asking me things like, "What's important to you in the company?" And I was like, "Working with good fucking people. Because if you're an asshole, I'm not interested. I don't want to work for you. That's it." And he was a bit like, I was like, listen, I was just like, well, look, shit's gonna go wrong at some point. So I want to work with people that, when when the bad times hit, we still rally around and we support each other. We're not just kind of, stroking each other's egos when things are going good and things are going well, because it's easy to do that. It's more about a test of when shit hits the fan, how do we kind of group together and muddle through that. So yeah, I think it's just knowing your worth is really, really important. Whether I mean, as it happens, he really liked me and he progressed me to the next stage of the interview. But and if you didn't, like you said earlier, David, to Olivia, then that's fine. Then we're not a match. I'm not going to kind of try and be something that I'm not, just to kind of get the job offer and then get into a job where I'm fucking miserable because I fucking hate it, because the foundations of the relationship didn't start off with on the right foot, in terms of I was just trying to give you the answers that you wanted to hear. So I think it's super important to try and, within reason. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the next interview and start using the C bomb left, right, and centre. But I think it's okay if it's like anything. If whatever you're communicating is communicated in the right way, people don't like it, then that's a them problem. It's not a you problem. So I think my takeaway is, yeah, just continue being your true authentic selves as much as possible, and be proud of that as well.
I have really enjoyed this class.
So me too.
And I think the four of us must do something for Recovery Month. I think we're going to put on a free 3-day training, and I'd love you all to attend down in London. Yeah,
Yeah,
you were
I'm
the
there.
last one, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do what we do for the 3-day training, like we do at Recovery Connections, Ruth. So if you can get down, we'll do it. And this is what we're doing for Recovery Month.
I'm there. Just let me know the dates, my friend, and I will be there.
Great,
100%.
wonderful.
Right, I'm going to
Let me
go.
know the date and I'll organise it, David.
Okay, great. Okay.
Right, are we doing a session this afternoon, David?
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay, I shall see you then.
See you later. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.